What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the Squadron Supreme. Now, the reason why I'm talking about them is because I would love to see the Squadron Supreme in a future Avengers film. Now, for people that don't know who the Squadron Supreme are, basically they were like a mirror version of the Justice League, but incorporated into the Marvel Universe. So meaning these characters you won't see in the DC Universe, but they kind of mirror the characters that you see in the DC Universe. So without confusion, let me explain the reason why I say that they mirror them. So as you can see on your screen right now, these are some of the core members of the Squadron Supreme. In the center, you have Hyperion. On your left side, you have Nighthawk. Behind Nighthawk and Hyperion is Speed Demon. On to the right side of Hyperion is Power Princess. And behind Power Princess and Hyperion, who appears in like a bluish black shade. I don't know who that is actually. My best guess will be either Dr. Spectrum or Amphibian or Nuke. Any one of those three characters that I listed just now could be this person back here. Now, the reason, as I said, that I'm talking about the Squadron Supreme is because I literally would pay any money to see this in a live action film. Now, of course, you guys are going to say, Barry, Avengers Endgame was huge enough. How could they even go bigger? Well, with this story right here, this can go even bigger than Avengers Endgame. Now, the only time that we actually seen crossovers like this were, in the comics and in the video game universe. Now, if you guys remember those games back in the day, going to like the pizza shops and the laundromats, in which you spend, dozens of dollars playing those video games for hours on hours, and your parents used to just yell at you about taking their quarters and stuff like that. The point I'm making is those video games consisted of crossovers in which we could have never thought were possible. So big games such as like Marvel versus Capcom, or DC versus Marvel, you know what I'm saying? Those kind of crossovers in which you incorporate characters from, one multi-universe and combine it with another multi-universe within two different companies. So you will have characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then you will have characters from the DC Universe coming together to fight in a video game. So just imagine taking that video game and bringing it into live action in the movie universe, ladies and gentlemen. This idea, I believe, would definitely sell, because this is something that I know I'm not the only one thinking about, And mind you guys, this is all just literally coming from my mind. This is nothing, theory related. This is nothing rumor related. This has not been, said in an interview or talked about. You know what I'm saying? This is not any way associated with Marvel and, Marvel Studios and Sony and Fox and Disney. This is all literally coming from my mind. I was just thinking about this team, and I would say, I would love to see them take on the Avengers. Now, most people may say, Barry, well, there is a Dark Avengers film coming up. Do you think they will make an appearance there? Now, when it comes to the Dark Avengers, I don't know what that team consists of, and I'm just being honest with you guys. So Please educate me in the comment section because I honestly don't know. But if any of these members were actually a part of the Dark Avengers, I would say, that would be an awesome, addition to the film. Now, I have actually watched this animated series called Avengers Assemble, which used to air on Disney XD. I'm not sure if it still currently airs because I actually stopped watching Disney XD, quite a while ago. But there was this episode in which, I think it was a double episode, like a back-to-back episode, in which the Squadron Supreme made an appearance and they took on the Avengers. Now, Hyperion was obviously, the main use because he was the strongest of the group and he did most of the muscle. You know what I'm saying? Now, as I did mention, these characters, they mirror those of the Justice League. Obviously, Hyperion, he mirrors Superman because he has the abilities of like super strength and super speed and flight. He has like a super breath, but for Hyperion, they call it vortex breath. He also had freeze, like a freeze breath, and he had these like death rays coming out of his eyes. You know what I'm saying? And basically, when you think about it, he is like a mirror version of Superman. It's just Hyperion only exists in the Marvel universe. So once again, these characters exist in the Marvel universe, but they have the abilities of those in the DC universe, in which these characters are called members of the Justice League. So Hyperion honestly mirrors Superman. Nighthawk obviously mirrors Batman, because as you can see right here, just looking at it, you're like, wow, that does kind of look like Batman. The definition and the jawline, the cowl, the mask, the cape, and then the fact that he doesn't have any abilities. He just has tech and, a pretty huge brain. And those are the attributes of Batman. Speed Demon in the back. Obviously, the name is, pretty much self-explanatory. He's called himself Speed Demon because he is a speedster. Now, most people want to argue that Speed Demon is indeed faster than the Flash. I'm not going to argue about that in this video. I will leave it up to you guys in the comment section. I will just sit back and watch that, And then you also have Power Princess, who kind of resembles Wonder Woman, all the attributes of what Wonder Woman has. So yeah, just imagine having these guys, in an Avengers future film in which they cross over, and they fight. Because I just love seeing, films in which two teams come together and they kind of fight, sort of like how Infinity War and Civil War was, where the teams kind of broke up and they fought against each other. That would be super dope to have the Squadron Supreme featured in a future Avengers Endgame kind of situation, where everyone's almost on their deathbeds because of the power level within the Squadron Supreme. Because honestly, Hyperion, he definitely reminds me of Superman, and he's just super powerful. Now, when I watched the Marvel's Avengers Assemble, he was taking on Thor, and he took on the Hulk, and he was just making them look like bitches. Just honestly. More so, Thor was looking like the biggest bitch because Hulk was actually holding his own, He was able to get hit and just bounce back up, throwing out his own hits and everything like that. But when Hyperion was taking on Thor, Thor was just looking like a little bitch, you know what I'm saying? And Thor is super strong. Now, why did they do this to Thor? I don't know, but it is what it is. And respectfully, with all these powers, they do actually come with a weakness, and I believe Hyperion's weakness is somehow related to some form of lead or something, and as I said, once again, these characters kind of mirror those of the Justice League because they shared, almost the same abilities and almost the same weaknesses. So this kind of led whatever form or shape it comes in, obviously it has to be some sort of, relation to Hyperion himself, and as you can think about Superman with kryptonite, radioactive pieces of his homeland is his weakness, so just thinking about what they can do with these films in the future, what they can add and what they can subtract is super dope to just speculate on. And as I said, this is just speculation coming from my mind only. So just let me know if you would actually want to go to the theaters and see the Squadron Supreme take on the Avengers, because I honestly believe that this is physically the only way that they can actually do like in crossover with like Marvel and DC. You know what I'm saying? Just keep everything in one universe, but have a team that kind of, mirrors those of a different, brand universe entirely. So once again, Squadron Supreme, they mirror the Justice League. So just imagine having that as a possibility in a future Avengers film. You know what I'm saying? They exist within the Marvel universe, so there isn't any complications, trying to figure out how they actually came about, you know what I'm saying? Because they exist here. So just let me know your thoughts on this. That's all I had to say in this video. This is something that I was thinking about, once again, coming from my mind only. This isn't a theory. This isn't a rumor. You can't find this anywhere else online. This is just literally coming from me, and I'm hoping to make this as viral as possible. So please leave a thumbs up, guys. Please subscribe to this channel if you're new, and make sure your post notifications are turned on. I will catch you guys in the next video as always.